Hello, you're watching Esther from Stampin' Star Creations. Today I've got another Bible journaling page for you. I go ahead and prepare my page with some clear gesso, and I use Eco Tools black archival ink pen to do my journaling. The verse we're looking at today comes from 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 15, and it says, "But in your hearts revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect." This passage has been a bit of a challenge to me recently and really has spoken to me about being ready to give an answer. It's so easy as Christians just to go along and not know our reasons for the hope that is within us. So this is what I'm preparing for today. As usual, I use a scrap piece of paper to do my journaling on first. I'm just propping up my Bible with a stamp box just to give me a bit of support underneath there. I'm going to speed up the writing today so you don't have to sit through every single bit of the writing. I'm squashing in the word prepared, but with this font I managed to squeeze it in there. It's quite a long word. I put the word give in the centre just so that I've got enough space on either side to put the two smaller words. So this is a great way just to give yourself a bit of spacing when you put out the words. I bulk it up a bit. I didn't quite like the way it looked, so I added a bit more to that. I like this word answer, where I just use the beginning, middle and end letter to add a bit more swerve. I wanted to box the wording in because it looked as if it was floating a bit too much, so I just box it in with a bit of doodling. I'm using the Jar of Love stamp set from Stampin' Up. I'm going to be using the jar, the wire and the little bug. And using grey granite to stamp the jar. Although the jar didn't come out completely, it's just the way it is and you just carry on, so I didn't mind that because I'm going to colour it in afterwards. So the thinking behind using the jar and the bugs, you might think it's a bit of an unusual choice, was different feelings really. Mainly being prepared, so if you're wanting to hold things together, if you're going to catch bugs in the jar, you want to have a lid rather than an open jar. So partly that by being prepared, and also I'm going to colour these fireflies in, adding Daffodil Delight watercolour pencils, again from Stampin' Up, and it's just also to represent being shining lights and not hiding our lights as Christians and what we stand for. So a bit of a double kind of meaning to this journal. Hopefully the message came across in what I was doing. I wanted the wording to stand out as well, so just have a glow around the fireflies and the wording. And then I wanted the word prepared to stand out, so I used the real red pencil. Using the Bermuda Bay pencil now to give the jar a bit of colour, so that it doesn't look so blank. And as you can see, I'm trying to figure out where to start with using the Pacific Point blue pencil to add in the darkness around the jar. I go back with the Bermuda Bay because I want the colours to blend into each other to look a bit more blended rather than too much of a contrast. I go back in and decide I want to make the background really dark, like a night sky. Just filling in the colour of the bugs, excuse me, with pumpkin pie. I say the buns, the bugs. Just going in freehand with old olive and putting in some grass to ground the jar. Now, I was so keen to see how the bugs would come out that I go in with my aqua pen and do them first, which in hindsight was probably not the best idea at all. Things started getting smudged and yeah, I probably wouldn't do that again. I'm having to take off some of the water off of the bugs. They just got too wet and soggy and smudged. So my idea was to dry this off later and going to try and restamp them. Again, with the colouring, I don't know why I started with the darkest colour first. Maybe I should have started with the yellow centre and then going out the opposite way. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking. But we learn from our mistakes. So I used the heat tool on this. Again, I probably shouldn't have heated it at such a high heat because my paper is a bit more crinkly than usual, but I was desperate to get those fireflies looking okay again. So I do go in with the heat tool. And here's the final article. As you can see, it's not perfect, but you know, as with art and craft, this is, you know, some things happen the way they happen. I highlight the wording with different colours to make the wording stand out a bit more in the watercolour pencils as well, and the verse. Thank you very much for watching. Do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. You can subscribe to my channel for other Bible journals and for other creative things that I've made. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching.